Well, there you go. Aren't we great performers?
Your dancing skills are really coming along.
You've got a man holding his hands over your head.
I can see him behind me.
Grab your face. Right, we've got some tweets we want to read out. If you want your tweets read out, of course, you've got to use #TheBuzz on Twitter. I've got a couple here.
Okay, you go.
Look at these phones that we've got.
Yeah.
They're massive, aren't they?
Yay.
Richard Baird Oz says, when Jason Jordan said he was getting the band back together for Christmas, he wasn't kidding at all.
Rick C. Miller says, what a refreshing change after Trixie said, I'm glad they have pants on underneath the desk. Because usually you can't see under the desk.
You can't, and you don't realise that we're just wearing boardies. Not boardies, budgie smugglers.
Yeah, they did warn us that if we didn't wear pants, we'd be in trouble.
Henry Beans wants to know, what font is that on Mr. Jordan's T-shirt? It's Helvetica.
Did you get that because you thought it was funny? Or
because it's... I'll explain it. It's Comic Sans.
Oh, I see.
Even though it says Helvetica.
Oh.
See how funny that is?
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
I'm just a bit too far away from those candy canes, says Andrew, who is here in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Andrew.
Richard Baird again says, Cooksphere, can I have your rate card as a gigolo?
My what card?
Rate card.
Oh, okay,
what do you charge
sure.
for being a gigolo?
Yeah, it depends on who I've got to be a gigolo with.
Right, yeah.
So keep them coming in. #TheBuzz. Oh, you got more?
Dear the Buzz, it took me months to get the Fox song out of my head. Thanks for putting it back there from McZameth.
Yeah, my daughter's right into that at the moment. I'm getting it about 5 times every night.
Yeah, right.
What does the Fox say?
This is The Buzz, of course, and we're enjoying having your company this evening. If you'd like to join in, we want you to join in.
Yeah.
We're not monitoring Facebook at the moment, but we are monitoring Twitter. So don't forget, #TheBuzz, and we will read them out. As we progress through the evening, I've got these, you know that beard I had? All that white fluff, it's all in my mouth and everything now. It's just, it's ridiculous.
What was the name again?
Who? Let's not go there. All right, what are we doing next? We've read out some tweets. I reckon that what we might... Do you know Chat Roulette? You remember Chat Roulette was big back in the day?
There's a new roulette one out too.
Is there?
Yeah, I'll talk about that later though.
All right, well, we'll talk about that there.
Yeah.
There is a hilarious... I know you don't find it funny, but
no, I don't.
Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball video
I find it
meets
offensive.
Chat Roulette. Check it out.
Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break you off. All you ever did was wreck me. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, I just closed my eyes and swore. Let me crashing in a blazing fall. All you ever did was
I'm giving you my wrecking ball. Ready? Giving you my wrecking ball. Except I have clothes on. Regular viewers of the show will know that every week when we get to it, we have a Who to Follow segment here on The Buzz. And what I thought for the end of 2013, what I thought I'd do is I'd give you a roundup of the most followed people, both internationally and in Australia, as it stands at the moment as we sort of say goodbye to 2013. Not too many surprises on the international list. Katy Perry is the top followed person on Twitter with more than 48 million followers, probably more, given I only checked that a few moments ago. Closely followed by Justin Bieber. Why? Also closely followed by Lady Gaga. So that's decided it for 2013, unless you are a secret believer, secret or non-secret believer, and you're just going to go and follow them tonight. Well, good luck to you. In Australia, a couple of surprises here. Maybe it shows how out of touch I am. In Australia, the top followed person is at Jazz Curtis Smith. She's Jasmine Curtis Smith to her mother. She's a 19-year-old Filipino-Australian actress and model, a beautiful girl. I don't really know who she is, but apparently more than 1.4 million people do, so good luck to you out there. A familiar face also in second place, Mr. K. Rudd these days, rather than K. Rudd MP, as he was known, former PM, also former MP, Kevin Rudd, on nearly 1.4 million followers. And the last one I have for you at the moment is at Ali Cam, who describes himself as a blogologist. Alistair McCameron has nearly 570 million followers and is described by Clout as one of Twitter's top influencers, and they would know, I guess, worth a follow if you are a blogger. As you saw earlier, 2013 was the year that Miley Cyrus went absolutely bonkers. She started by cutting her hair, which, you know, ho-hum. Then she dumped her fiancé. Then she did some kind of crazy Beetlejuice twerking act on the VMAs. And then she followed it up with the Wrecking Ball, which has just been parodied, as you'd seen. Parodied endlessly online, both overseas and here at home. So a great one the other day with Lee Sales and Tony Abbott in animation. Definitely look that one up. This year also saw the rise and thankfully the fall of the Harlem Shake. Here is a video taken at Perth's Supernova earlier this year.
Con los terroristas.
The Harlem Shake.
I tell you what.
Yes.
That sort of dancing.
Yeah.
I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
So hot.
I do all sorts of dancing. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just part of my palette of dancing colours.
Now, you work in radio.
Yes.
I off and on work in radio as well.
Yes.
And our next guest works in radio, but not here in Australia.
Okay.
Overseas.
Really?
Overseas.
We've got an international guest in the studio.
You are an Irish radio presenter.
I am.
Why are you here? In Australia,
Have you seen the weather?
yeah, true enough. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you work in radio in Ireland.
In Dublin.
Something that it's not just in Ireland, it's not just in Perth, all over the world, social media is really starting to integrate with what I call old media or even broadcast media. There's really a crossroads happening at the moment. What are you using social media for?
We use social media, well, I do a current affairs talk show, so I find that Twitter is by far the fastest tool available. It is absolutely phenomenal, the speed of it. It's
so this
brilliant.
is for getting feedback or for people asking questions or?
Well, basically it's a news feed. It's faster than any of the World Service news feeds. You'll find.
Can it be relied upon, Lindsay?
But that's where you got to double check and double check.
Well, I think with Twitter, the secret is, and the recent death of Paul Walker was an interesting example.
Sure, that was weird.
It was going nuts on Twitter, but it was really hard to verify because somebody had put a fake death thing for Paul Walker dying in a car crash out 2 days before.
Oh, really?
So they were going, no, it's a fake. But the fake story came out 2 days before the news story came out that he was actually dead. Yeah. So it was really interesting. And although Twitter was going nuts, it actually took a good hour before anybody apart from the TMZ site, which crashed under the traffic, was able to verify that, yes, this is an actual event that happened. And a wonderful example, I think, of Twitter especially being first with that news, but the ability to track it down is what Twitter doesn't quite have, that verification yet.
That's true. That's very true. That's where you rely on your news agencies because you always go back to basics.
Yeah.
It's like everything you read in the paper isn't necessarily true. Yeah. You should know, you guys both work in radio, you know that, so you don't automatically.
Well, we make stuff up. So.
Absolutely, it's all made
well,
up.
Then we're all fairly guilty of that.
But I mean, Twitter has been described as being modern day talkback radio.
Yes.
So it does give every man and his dog an opportunity to have their say. We, of course, then have to really work out.
Tweak it.
Yeah, what's been said, what is accurate, what's correct, what do we want to put to air? For you, though, are you finding that it is actually making your job easier?
It does, because it gives you a lead. It's basically a teaser into what could be coming up next. Nelson Mandela's death, I read that first on Twitter before any news feed.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought this is a prime example of how well Twitter actually works. Facebook is good, but it's slow.
It doesn't feel real time.
No, and it's very slow. I mean, I find Facebook very funny insofar as that if it didn't exist, would you walk around with a picture to people and say, do you like it, do you like it?
I think the big thing with Facebook, and it's a problem that they're having, and a lot of discussion is relating to this and why they're seeing a drop-off in young people, is that because the news feed, unlike Twitter where you get everything, if you miss it, it's gone.
Yeah.
The news feed in Facebook tries to behave differently and select stuff to put up. So what happens is you're not actually getting a current now feed that you used to get on Facebook, but you don't get it anymore. You're kind of getting this selected
it's
field.
Slow. It seems so slow.
So it's become a different beast. It's not so much a news
with
beast.
your personal account and with the account, say, of the radio station, do you find that there's a correlation between the amount of followers those accounts have and the ratings that the station might actually be getting?
I suppose in Ireland, Twitter, people who work in radio use Twitter, which is brilliant. All the stations are on Twitter, all the stations are on Facebook, everybody's on it. But with your average public, Twitter is kind of slow in Ireland at the moment because people are saying, oh, I don't really understand it, I don't know how to figure it out. Bloody hell, it's so easy, you know, it's so easy to understand. And yet, Facebook would actually be something that is used in Ireland more. I think Ireland has the highest amount of Facebook users in the world.
Wow.
Which is, for a small, tiny island with a population of 4.6 million people, is huge.
That's amazing.
You know, I think, how many people live in Perth?
Yeah, well, what,
do you think
2 and a bit million?
The trouble Twitter has, though, is a lot of people see people who use Twitter as a bit elitist. They're kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to Facebook is like everybody's thing, whereas Twitter that's what people who want to be something use. It has a bit of that about it. I know when I'm talking to people about the buzz or whatever, and I say, oh, you know, we interact with Twitter, and they kind of look at you and go, Twitter? Why would you bother doing that?
It's like,
that's right.
But then LinkedIn, there's another prime example.
Don't talk to me about LinkedIn. I have no idea what that's
that's full of smug people, were we?
I'm still working on that one.
Yeah. Lindsay, we've got to go. We're running out of time.
Great to meet you guys.
Thank you so much for coming in this evening.
Super.
You've moved to Perth. You are a radio presenter, so I'm assuming that we'll see a bit and hear a bit more of you around the place. You never know.
Thank you, Lindsay. A round of applause, please, for Lindsay, our guest. Thank you, studio audience.
Now, as I said before, we are extremely sophisticated here on The Buzz, so I reckon it might be time for a little bit more jazz to take us out to the break. Please,
I love
take
jazz.
it away.